Shaman's View. I'm Dr. Alberto Villoldo, and today I want to share with you some daily rituals you can use for clearing negative energies. Today's also an important day. Today is June 25th, and today the US government is releasing classified information about contact with aliens, with extraterrestrial intelligence. But true to our government, you're going to be sure we're not going to get the full download. They're only going to be releasing information, in fact, about UFOs, flying objects. What about swimming objects? What about direct contact? What about the parallel worlds that we coexist with? I love what the British astronaut Helen Sharma said. This is a PhD in chemistry and engineer, astronaut. She said that she is convinced that we have been coexisting, that they are among us, that we have been coexisting with alien intelligences for a long time. And of course, indigenous peoples have been documenting and speaking about these contacts that they've had with other intelligences for a long time. Not all of them beneficent and intelligences that we want to be protected from. Remember that any contact between a more advanced, technologically advanced civilization and a more primitive ones, the primitive ones have disappeared. They have been enslaved, assimilated. Look at the indigenous peoples and the arrival of the conquistadors, of the European invaders in the Americas. So we have to be very careful, but this is just one small parenthesis. This is happening today. Tune into the news and then learn how you can create sacred space to maintain the purity of your environment. Um, so today I'd like to share with you small rituals, daily rituals that you can use to protect yourself from negative energies. We're living in the time of the Pachacuti. This is the time that indigenous prophets announced would be the returning of the balance to the earth. Pachacuti means the turning over of the earth, the turning over of systems that are predatory, that have been abusing the earth, that have been dealing with nature as natural resources, lumber, board feet, things that we can use. And we're coming back into a relationship of stewardship with the earth. We're not there, far from being there yet, but there's a lot of upheaval taking place and a lot of negativity that people are encountering from others, from systems, from the resistance to this return to nature, because this is the Pachacuti is about dismembering the old systems, the patriarchal, the racist, the white supremacists, the abusive of the feminine, and these systems don't die easily. Therefore, there's a huge amount of negativity from the human realm. And then there's the invisible realm. There's the invisible world, the hungry ghost and the little demon, the garden variety of demons and devils, and of course the less garden variety ones that have been let loose in the earth right now. According to the shamans' prophecies, during the Pachacuti, the gates of hell are flung open. And all of these demons that we talk about residing in the collective unconscious of humanity have been let loose on the earth. Many of them are elected public officials. Incredible. So, but the invisible world also is populated just in the same way that we have invisible little bacteria that can feed on us that are parasitic. They're also in the invisible world energies that can attach themselves to your weaknesses, to your emotional weaknesses, to your vulnerabilities, and begin to suck your own life force. This is why shamans always work within sacred space. So I'm going to show you today 3 strategies that you can use to maintain the purity and balance in your space and to protect yourself from the garden variety of of demons, whether they be embodied in a physical body or they be part of the invisible realm. So the very first one is the creating sacred space, summoning on the guardians of the four directions, installing them in your space. The serpent, the jaguar, the hummingbird, and the eagle or the condor. And these guardians change from culture to culture. If you live in Europe, many of you are watching from Europe, you don't have hummingbirds, but you have to work with the hawk or with the owl or with one of these great protectors that are native to your land and to your area. So let me quickly begin with this. Again, you make a flower water with your specific flower remedies. Some of you work with the Bach flower remedies. You know how powerful they are. Find your flower remedies, your essences of nectar. This is the pure, pure, beautiful nectar. And and then you offer this to the guardians, summoning the spirit of the serpent. This is the great serpent that was the first one to bring us the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Wow. Come and protect this south direction, the south gateway, the serpent to the Kundalini. In the east, they speak about the Nagas, the great sea serpents. All of the goddesses had serpents coiled around their arms. So to the winds of the south, great serpent, mother of the waters, come, protect our medicine space. Teach me your ways to shed the past, the way you shed your skin, that I may be open to the new. It's in the clinging to the past, to the way things were, to how you would love to have been different, to have things worked out differently, that we become very vulnerable. Help us to shed that past the way you shed your skin, Mother. And to the west, to the spirit of the jaguar, Mother, Sister Jaguar. Come, walk around our medicine space and do this around your house to protect your house, your space where you sleep in, your children. Mother, Sister Jaguar, come, protect this medicine space. Keep any things that are not of the highest quality and vibration, keep them out. Allow only the highest to enter into the sacred realm. And then to the north, to the hummingbird or to the hawk or the whatever it is that your local flora, fauna embodies, summon that power to protect the gateway of the north. Hummingbird, you who drink only from the nectar of life, you who are the great journeyer and the great traveler who are not even supposed to be able to fly, but who migrates from Brazil to Canada every year, going on the impossible journey. Help me go on my great journey. And grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, guardians and keepers of this land, we call on you, we honor you. We call on you to protect our medicine space, to make a circle of light around us, around our loved ones, that nothing can enter. Only the highest and most beautiful energies are invited to enter. And then to the east, to the winds of the east. Mother, Sister Eagle, fly high above us. Keep us under your wing, Mother. You are our mother. We are your babies. Protect us like you do your chicks in the nest, and teach us to spread our own wings, to not encounter any obstacles. You who always flies higher when you encounter obstacles, teach us to do the same, to not get tangled in battles where we're going to simply exhaust ourselves. Teach us to fly always wing to wing with the great spirit. And then to the earth, Mother Earth, Pachamama, great mother. Thank you, Mother. You who are the mother that never left us. I offer you my breath and the sweetness of these flowers. Thank you, Mother. Protect us, look after us. Aho. We have the medicine of the earth. This is our planet. This is the planet that we belong to. The planet doesn't belong to us. We belong to this planet. We are earthlings. We all share the same mother. We're all Aboriginal peoples. And this is something that those visitors from other places don't have access to because they don't know the medicine of the earth. We do. And Great Spirit, creator of all, you who sit above us and below us in the north and the south and the east and in the west, thank you for allowing us to sing the song of life one more day. And to all the luminous ones, medicine and women of the past and the future, the enlightened ones, the great luminous ones, we call on you, protect our space. And then, of course, we have sage or palo santo that you can use to smudge. Smudging brings sweetness to the space and drives anything that is of a low quality energy away, does not permit any of the foul smelling energies to reside. So I love the Palo Santo. It's a sacred tree. Sage is fantastic for smudging also. If you have heavy duty smudging that you can use tobacco leaf, don't inhale. Um, or you can use the datura leaves as part of your medicine bundle. And then let the smoke cleanse you and clear you. Do this with the little ones, with the children when they're asleep. Cleanse them with a smudge so that you can rid them of any negative energies that they've picked up in school. Schools are such dark and negative places today. One of the most dangerous places to be in America today is in a high school because the chances of getting abused or shot or killed are tremendous, more than in the streets of New York. So help the little ones and the old people, your your parents, your grandparents that may not be leaving the house very much, but that are carrying a tremendous negative load. Smudge them, cleanse them, bless them with the sweetness, spritz them with the flower essence waters. These are the basic fundamental protections of a space. Once you install the four guardians, they will remain there, but you must feed them. You must continue to feed them with your love and with your breath. This is like incense, but it's coming from your breath. The breath is who you are, is your essence. There's a wonderful meditation that a great teacher taught me, which is a mantra that you do with your breathing. And the mantra is, I am my breath. I am my breath. I am my breath. And eventually, the very last day of your life, when you release that last breath, you will go with your breath. The word spirit is the Latin word for breath. You inspire and you expire, you die. The spirit leaves, the breath leaves. The soul comes into the body of a child, the baby, with the first breath. They become inspired, inspirited. So use the breath with your prayers to create the sacred space that you need to create. The second way of clearing yourself is the use of, you can use feathers. I love these. These are eagle and condor feathers that are perfectly legal here where I am in our Chile retreat center, but they're not legal in the US. But you can get turkey feathers, any kind of feathers that you can use to cleanse yourself. And the feathers have a tremendously sharp edge. You can use them to cut any cords that may be attached to you, any cords that may be connecting you to negative people. And remember, we connect with negative people because we have affinities with them. We have affinities, we have vulnerabilities. It's a blind spot. A dear friend of mine, who's my literary agent, has her blind spot are men. If there's a single psychopath in the room, she'll fall in love with him. And you all know people that make all of the wrong choices, all the wrong love choices and relationship choices. They have affinities, and affinities create cords. Cords are always toxic. When you love someone, you don't have any ropes that tie them up, that bind them. There's no cords. There's simply the abundance of beauty and love that you share freely with each other. When there's codependence, you have cords. And when there's deep wounds that draw you to someone that is similarly wounded, you immediately establish a cord. I remember being in a party, in a Hay House authors party, talking to my agent, and she says, "He's here." And I go, "Who?" I thought maybe Deepak Chopra had walked into the room. And I noticed Deepak was already there. I go, "Who's here?" She says, "My soulmate." I go, "Oh, I want to meet him." She says to me, "Me too." She had never, this guy walked in and she immediately connected with him. When he came over, I brought him over. They locked eyes, and I had disappeared from the room. I was no longer there. And he was similarly wounded. They shared the same deep wound, looking for the other that hopefully will heal it. But of course, the other ends up wounding you even more deeply. The healing can never happen through the other, it must happen within. But you need to first cut the cords, and the feathers are fantastic for that. They're like great swords that will cut those cords that connect you to negative people and negative places. So, this is the second strategy, and you can also use it for balancing the chakras, your own chakras, or a loved one's chakras. So, do this. This is part of your shaman's toolkit. In fact, we have a training program called the Shaman's Toolkit that reviews all of these important tools that we can use. This is the second tool that you can use to deal with negative energies. And the third tool that I like to share with you is to release that to the fire. When we feel when we're exposed to negative energies, we they create hormonal and electrical imbalances in the body. They affect us through our chakras. These energies come in through the chakras. Now, the word chakra means a wheel. And this is what the, they were discovered in India 2,000 years ago. Patanjali speaks about the chakras and the Yoga Sutras. They're energy centers. And it's important for us today because we have science, we have neuroscience, we understand what a chakra is. A chakra is created when you have a nerve bundle and an endocrine gland coinciding. Endocrine glands produce hormones. Chakras are nerve bundles. Nerve bundles are the electrical system in the body. Digital, speed of light. Endocrine glands are hormones, analog system, chemical, slow hormones. When the two of them coincide, they create a disturbance in the energy field that the ancients saw as a wheel turning. Chakra means a wheel. And these negative energies impact us through the chakras and through our nervous system and disrupt our hormonal system. You find yourself getting moody, getting irritable, getting judgmental. It's not always you. In the West, we believe that all these energies that we experience belong to us only. Psychology tells us that. These demons are really elements of your unconscious that you need to grapple with, that you believe they're out there. They're out there, believe me. And they're also in here. They're both. But psychology 100 years ago tried to become scientific, to become more accepted, and denied the existence of the invisible world. Simply dealt with it by denying it because science was becoming very materialistic. And here we denied the soul, we denied the sacred, we denied angels, we denied spirit guides, we denied the existence of suffering spirits that could have been your uncle or your mother or your grandmother that were caught in a purgatory or in one of the bardos. All of that was denied, did not exist, including these negative energies that we're so exposed to today. So we need to learn how to protect ourselves and protect our chakras and our energy centers. And those of you who've trained with me, you know that we do a practice of expanding our eighth chakra that is called the Wida Kocha. This is the Andean name of the deity of God, of the God of the cosmos, which is the cosmos itself. It's not from the cosmos, it is the cosmos. Wida Kocha. Wida means sacred, Kocha means the source of. And we learn how this eighth chakra that is above our head, that is inside our energy field, but it is outside the body. And it's who we are when we are in between births. When we die, we upload all of the information from our seven chakras. Remember chakra, endocrine gland, nerves, plexus, nervous system, all of that gets uploaded to the eighth chakra. That then goes about looking for the family that we're going to be born into, where we're going to learn the most. So this is who we are in between births. And the shamans of old discovered that they could bring their hands into this eighth energy center, into this radiant sun, and expand it around them. And that this was the light that we see around the Buddha, or the light that we see around the Christ, around the apostles, or around the illumined beings. These are not just artistic conceptions and metaphors. This is real. This is that eighth energy center. We can extend that. We step to timeless, into infinity, create a protection that is impenetrable. And when you have the four archetypes, four guardians installed in your home, your workspace, your office, and able to extend your Wida Kocha. Now, the Wida Kocha cannot stay like that for too long. But the minute you expand it over yourself, and you can join me in doing this, bring your hands to your heart center and dropping into your breath. And then on an in-breath, beginning to bring your hands up and into this radiant orb above your head, this radiant sun that we all have. And expanding and turning your palms outward and expanding it around yourself and in front of you and behind you, stepping into a bubble of timelessness, of infinity. You break free from time. And when you do that, all of your systems reset back to their natural state. They reset. It's almost like pushing the reset button in your biocomputer. Your nervous system resets, your hormonal system resets, the chakras balance and clear out, and you create an impenetrable field. And whenever you are in danger, it's interesting to watch the medicine people when they feel there's some kind of danger. It could be a physical danger, or it could be that they're coming into a part of the city or the forest where there's a lot of disruptive energies. They will immediately envelop themselves in their light. And truly, this is the sacred light that nothing can penetrate. And your finest and your best protection is the light. It's your light. It's your own Buddha light and your own Christ light and your own enlightened light that offers you the finest protection. So in times of need, remember to do that. And I do it daily, actually 2 or 3 times a day, just because I love to be in infinity. In infinity, you're not haunted by death. There's no time, so time doesn't run out. There's no past. The past doesn't haunt you. There's no future. You're in the timeless moment, in the now. Exquisite. And this is where we meditate as medicine men and women. Practice these strategies, develop your skills with them. We need to use them today because of the amazing process of transformation humanity is going through. As we go through the Pachacuti, we have to be in the eye of the storm. Otherwise, we get caught in the great winds of the storm, of this hurricane of change that humanity and the planet is going through. And then we can be part of the solution. We can be part of that millennium of gold that the prophecies say will follow this time of great upheaval. Be part of that millennium of gold. Learn your protections, use them. Remember that the invisible world, it's not populated by angels only. It's a world where there are energies that need to feed, and ideally not on you. They're parasitic energies that are attracted to you when your field is broken, when your field needs to be repaired. And practice your morning breathing, do your shamanic practice to maintain your energetic health, and then of course maintain your physical health through your diet, through eating primarily green-based, plant-based, plant-rich diet, and getting the kind of protein that you need. And remember to cut back on the sugars. I'm convinced that all of these hungry ghosts and demons like to feed on sugar also. So be very careful with the sugars and create health. Step into extraordinary health in these challenging times that we're living in and practice your protections. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today in the Shaman's View. And I hope these are useful tools and that you use them, bring them into your repertoire of skills, because there you'll notice a tremendous difference, especially with the children and with the old people. Aho.